Dad, what's for dinner?
People are busting their ass and spending their lives trying to rescue as many dogs as they can, put dogs in homes. Every now and then, something's going to go wrong.
Yes.
Do we destroy people for something going on? Wait a minute, first of all, is there a rescue out there anywhere in the country that has never lost a dog? Is there a rescue that hasn't you ever used that phrase that you said? A rescue gone bad, you know? I mean, have dogs died? And also, are dogs dying? There's millions of dogs that we can't even get access to that are dying that we have nothing to do with. So if one dies in the process of someone trying to do something right, then where is all of this energy spent? On beating someone down, on destroying someone.
That's the key, I think. The amount of energy and effort that people put into trying to destroy others who are doing good, who are volunteering their time and doing good work, could be put to much better use. I mean, go after the puppy mills.
Exactly, the puppy mills.
Go after people who are really
and
abusive.
Dogfighting.
Unless somebody does something really bad, and you really need to I'm talking really bad.
Right.
No one rescuing animals should try to discredit another rescuer. We should be supporting each other, giving each other the benefit of the doubt. But in rescue, a lot of these people would rather stab you in the heart than give you a hand.
Exactly. Now, and speaking of that, supporting each other, I want to bring on to the camera and microphone and say thank you. But Danny Mason is in the house. Okay. Okay. So as you can see, Paula Archer is applauding there. Thank you, Doctor, for coming in today.
Sure.
Usually Tuesday is Foster's Animal World, and I have to fly solo, Paula and I. And Danny is the other half of this show on Friday, and he's the other half of this show, or the other third, I guess, because it's me, him, and Paula. Anytime he wants to be, and Tuesdays he's usually off in Hollywood making big bucks working for somebody large, and he can't give me the little bottle cap money time that we have around here. So
do you know what you look like this early in the morning? Just save my eyes. I'm gonna need these later on in life,
So the good thing about Danny, and the reason I wanted him to come in here, man, is Danny is not on Facebook, guys. Danny does not participate in he doesn't see all of the ugly. Oh, I want you look through some of those things.
I was seeing this out the side of the corner of my eye. I'm like, oh man, it's highlights and curse words, and I'm like, who wrote this? A sailor?
Look at some of that yellow there too. So
I don't even read that stuff.
Yeah,
it's so common, and rescue is notorious for being nasty and vicious. Especially LA, a lot of people won't even rescue animals from Los Angeles. And we need more people to rescue animals from Los Angeles, not less. We need more.
Okay. Yeah. Now, I want to say this, that again, Lisa, and Lisa, you can say hello to Danny. Danny, meet Lisa. Lisa is in
Hi, Danny.
Orlando.
Hey, Lisa, how are you?
She was in Miami.
I probably got more sleep than you since I'm in Orlando. So this was 10:30 a.m. my time.
Wow.
She was in Miami when we started the show too. Now she's made it all the way to Orlando.
Wow.
So this is Monika. Now, okay, so. I've opened this show up to all kinds of people, and I told them, that I want to see. There's people made accusations, and we have all of these screenshots and different things. But what I found, Lisa, is this: people who will make accusations and statements on Facebook, but they won't come on this show in public and say the same things that they've said online that they could type into their computers. And that's the Klan mentality to me. That's the part.
They can't wear that Facebook mask and hide behind an icon or a fake name, because and then the people they work with would know who they were.
Yeah.
And they'd say, how could you sit there and claim to be, a rescue person, and all you want to do is bust another rescue? Rescue, I find, is highly competitive.
Yeah, well, see, that's the part that's collusion and criminal activity, because if it's competitive and if there's money being made, and if I stop Jenny from making money with her rescue, and I can rescue those same dogs, that's criminal activity, because I'm cutting off your living and I'm making a profit off of it.
Actually, just to interject, I don't take any benefits whatsoever. I'm a full-time top real estate agent in San Diego, so I don't need to draw any kind of income from a 501c3.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's even more reason for me to put you out of business.
Yeah.
So I can make some money because you don't need it. No, but that's literally what's happening. So tell me this though. Who is this Jill Randall, and how does she play into your life? Because as I, again, understand it, and anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, she is where this next issue starts. So after you kill the dog in the backyard with the butcher knife, and we talked about that, and we know how that happened.
Pastor, Jill Randall planted the first seed.
Right.
She was unhappy with me. She was a foster helper of mine. It was for Funds for Pets in Canada. And she fostered a dog, which I flew out. The dog landed safely. It went into foster care in Winnipeg, Manitoba by Funds for Pets. It got adopted out. It is living a healthy and happy life. Everything was good until I helped another rescue pulling a couple of puppies, which I referred Jill Randall as a foster mom because she was really great. She did an awesome job taking care of that dog for me. So the rescue that was in charge had these...
I'm sorry, because I try to be specific. So who is the other rescue?
That was Karen Ebanks with Furry Angel Rescue.
Okay.
She had me pull those two puppies, and she used a volunteer to drop them off at Jill Randall's place.
And who is this volunteer?
That was Anna Jimenez.
Okay. Anna?
And yes.
I'm trying to follow the dots.
They work together. So
okay.
Anna and Karen Ebanks work together.
I have nothing to do with that. The
Okay.
two puppies were pulled for those two people.
Okay.
And Jill Randall and Anna Jimenez got into an argument. And I said, I'm sorry, the vet bills were paid by this rescue.
Karen Ebanks.
Karen Ebanks.
Mm-hmm.
You need to talk to those people because I pulled the dog. I need a spay and neuter cert for these animals. They were just 8 weeks old. They were deferred from spay and neuter surgery from Carson Shelter. They were too young and sick. They needed foster home until they were ready to be adopted out.
And then you were supposed to bring them back to Carson and have them spayed or neutered, which Carson takes care of as part of it.
Mrs. Jill Randall decided to keep the animals and cut off all communication with me, and she filed a restraining order because I called her too many times claiming the dogs back because they needed to go to neuter and spay surgery, because if we don't provide animal control in LA County with spay and neuter certs, Jenny Armour would have lost her pull rights.
Yeah.
Okay, now stop for a second there, which is major. Tell me this. In rescue, is it common, is it legal, is it the way that rescue operates for me to be a rescue and I give you a dog to foster for me and you can just say you're not giving the dog back? Jenny, is that the way rescue works? Foster can just decide, I'm not giving you a dog back?
No, because, I mean, legally, those would have been our property since it was technically pulled under our rescue.
Yeah.
But they were pulled for another rescue, Karen Ebanks, and the foster person decided she wasn't giving them back.
Now, is that the way that rescue works, that a foster can decide?
No, they absolutely cannot because it's your property. So it would be a civil matter, too. You would have to take her to court.
Okay.
Is there a written, I mean, we have foster agreements?
We have foster agreements with all of our fosters, absolutely. But Jill Randall was not one of our fosters. She was a foster of
the other people.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't even know her. I've never heard of her.
But my point being, that's not the way. That's not the proper way, the normal doing business that rescue works, where a foster can just decide, I'm
absolutely
not giving the dog back.
Yeah, we have a very thorough written agreement.
Okay, so if you give me a dog, and I don't know this particular dog, let's just say that I'm a rescue, and I give Danny a little dog that's an expensive one that costs like $5,000 to go buy, right? So now he's going to keep the dog and healthy, and I'm paying the medical bills. And then all of a sudden he finds out, but this is a $5,000 dog. So he can't just say, I'm going to keep your dog.
No, of course not. And legally, we would have documentation to say that those dogs were our property, but we would have to take them to court. It would be
okay. So what Jill Randall, and I want to interject this too, guys. I made, and Lisa, just so you know too, I made multiple attempts to message and left messages for Jill Randall to be part of this conversation to try to, again, bring it out of the dark. So Jill Randall decided not to give this dog back.
Yeah, she even refused to sign any foster agreement, any adoption agreement. She cut off all communication and just went on a rampage to destroy me.
Right. And so then...
That's when all the postings started popping up.
So what did she say?
That I'm a dog slinger and that I sell...
That's what she said.
I sell these dogs. Yeah, and I fly them to Europe for dog fighting or animal brothel for animal porn and all these kind of things.
Oh, animal porn.
Yes,
yeah, I need to talk to you. So, hey, wait a minute. So I think we might have Christopher. Is Christopher with us?
I certainly am. Thank you.
How are you, sir?
Hi, Christopher.
I am well. Thank you.
Okay,
to all, and likewise.
Welcome to the show, sir. And I misplaced the email or something. Are you on your cell phone or computer, Christopher?
Or right now I'm on my computer because my cell phone also links and has Skype. It engages as well. But right now I'm talking to you with a headset and a microphone through my computer. However, I am absent to camera.
Oh, you're absent the camera. Okay, I was like, you must be sitting there half naked because we can't see a picture. So and I was going to say, make sure you cut the camera off. Okay, so, all right, Christopher, well, welcome and thank you for participating.
Would we have gotten more viewers if we had all been half naked?
Yeah, well, I tried that one show and it didn't help. So, but maybe
using the wrong half. That's all.
But then from the emails I got, they said, and Paula, take her clothes off and your ratings will go up. So I don't know.
Did Jill want to be a failed foster? Was this the first dog that she wanted to take on her own?
It wasn't just one dog, from what I understand. Wasn't it a couple puppies?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't just one dog. And what breed were they?
They were listed as Derby, Doberman, Rottie mixes.
Okay. And how many were they?
2 of them.
2 of them that she was fostering.
6 to 8 weeks old.
And where is she? Is she in Southern California?
Wildomar, California.
And does anybody check out the fosters before sending them there?
Yes, I had contact with her, and she had proven to be...
With the previous one you mentioned.
A really good foster mom. She was in the emergency room with one of my dogs at midnight, and we were in contact even at midnight. She was texting me, and she was awesome. And that's why I recommended her to this rescue, Karen Ebanks.
Something just snapped. She
wasn't one of our volunteers, just so that's clear. I'd never even heard of her until this happened.
She claimed those dogs were pedigree, and we pulled those dogs in order to sell them to make a lot of money and breed them. That's why
they say that about everybody. They say everybody's a dog slinger, everybody's a con artist, everybody sells to laugh. I mean, the people that say this stuff, and how much it's said, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the problem is there's a lot of people on Facebook that don't know.
They believe anything.
They believe it. And there's a lot of people on Facebook who, to be honest for you, they get a rush. Oh, somebody's a dog, somebody's hurting animals. And then they can't wait to jump in. It's like an addiction or something.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, what do you feel is the primary motivation for people that comment?
Ego is a big one. Ego is a huge one for me. I know, because I set out to get Hollywood involved, and people got mad. Oh, and she doesn't have any celebrity support. Look, I'm getting celebrity support because people care about them. And if people cared about trees, I'd be taking pictures of trees, okay? It's about getting attention for these animals and getting more people involved. And the amount of people that I have witnessed that just refuse to rescue anymore because of this nastiness, that is not cool. It's got to stop.
It's got to stop.
And if Facebook has to get involved, I mean, I'm working with attorneys, and really it's time for Facebook to take a stand and to get rid of, the
behavior.
problems
and
that
behavior. Yeah, they have. But Michael, let me go.
Facebook has not wanted to take a stand at all. We have had multiple complaints about the same person and glad their comments were removed.
Did you go to Facebook and meet with their counsel? I mean, it has to get very real in order for them to. It's not just writing in on that page and. And the bad people, they do that too. So Facebook doesn't have any idea, because the people who want to cause harm, they'll say, oh, this person's being belligerent, or this and they'll keep making comments that aren't true. So the same thing happens. People, a lot of times what I have found, the people that were saying things about me, they had a lot to hide.
Right. Oh, exactly.
At one point, I had all these rescues, and they were all saying all this stuff about me, and I was just trying to help a shelter. And then it came down, the person that was the biggest voice against me ended up getting arrested for 80 counts of animal cruelty.
Oh, funny that. Hey, let me interject here for a second, because Christopher came in late, and he's dealt with these issues. So, Christopher, could you tell us a little bit about you, and so we can get your take on a lot of these things?
Sure. Let me make this. I'm not an attorney. I just play one on Facebook.
That's right. Exactly.
But no, I'm in the financial sector. Mm-hmm. I'm licensed and registered in the financial sector. I've been for many years. I've also was an executive producer. I did this from private funds for many years. I was an executive producer with Billboard, and did some entertainment, some big screen executive production as well. But right now I'm mostly working with the financial sector with a hedge fund, and I use my acclamation there to do the best I can to help the unfortunate, especially the voiceless. And with Facebook, where that's concerned, it's just a tool for me to get involved and interject, to learn, and to help carry out and alleviate some of the pain and suffering I see out there. And as Gandhi once said, we owe the most help to those most in need of it.
Right.
And that happens to be the voiceless. So otherwise animals, non-human people.
But so what is your experience been with this whole cyber thing around the world as you know it? What would you say?
Well, as philosophers from the 1800s on used to say, the masses are asses. What Facebook has done is it allows a forum for people to hide behind their keyboard and interject all kinds of things. Some people truly believe they're helping, and they believe they're helping by getting in there and being sheriffs of the internet. And a lot of times they do more harm than good. Indeed, lots of people have commentary that they otherwise wouldn't have. They don't have to back it all up. They don't have to support it. And social media allows a lot of things that otherwise wouldn't occur. Public slander is still against the law. But on Facebook, a lot of these things slide. Facebook does not engage. They do not police these things. However, they're very inconsistent. I've witnessed people being banned for comments that hardly offended anyone. I've seen them take people offline for trivial things and yet allow horrific things and public slander, undermining of people and their good causes to prevail. So it's very inconsistent. It's hard to get them to take more consistency and more responsibility into what they're doing. But yes, you have a human nature element in there where people are on both sides. And even within animal advocacy, where we're all concerned, we have different methods of going about that. And some people are to one side, others to the other side. And other people, they may care for the animals, but they just don't know how to they don't know how to develop themselves with rapport with people. And they look for every opportunity they can to sabotage or run foul of something long before they have any evidence to support what they're saying. Some of them seem to get some sort of return on that. They're quarrelsome people, and again, Facebook allows them that form. So it's very unfortunate. We have to do our best to look beyond them, limit them, and remind them of what damages they could be causing if they're at all reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher also does many things internationally, and he deals with this on an international basis online also.
Really? So you've seen people actually in other parts of the world doing this kind of insanity?
What insanity is that exactly? You mean with the Facebook stuff?
With the trolling and the bullying and
with rescue, you mean?
Yeah, well,
particularly, or
and I mean, in period. Rescue is one thing, and because that's what we're dealing with. But because I've had so many, mainly women. I think it's kind of indicative. It's to maybe because so many women are in rescue. 75-80% of rescue is female. But I've had women coming to me, with their lives threatened and contemplating suicide or saying, "I'm just gonna go shoot the bitch in the head." I've been trying to prevent murders, or suicide, which is still a murder. Have you seen this in other countries, Christopher?
Well, not murder, not yet, but yes, you certainly see the quarreling from even major groups that are involved with something. If they're sometimes they need to be called out, other times they've done nothing wrong, and people like to pile on. Like I said, when you're faceless and you can hide behind a keyboard, it's real easy to throw jabs in there, and people do this on an international scale. Sure, I see a lot of it. I see a lot of fighting going back and forth. Sometimes on the topic of advocacy, it lacks the productivity it otherwise could have because the forces are divided with childish banter and much that is lacking credibility. And unfortunately, yes, they do get carried away and they overstate things and they allow their emotions to govern them and get way too out of control and speaking here. Now, there are some good aspects of social media. Facebook has helped us arrest many abusers. They'll go on there and post something thinking they're showing off. And if we're composed, instead of going in there and commenting to them and making all kinds of foul and reporting them to Facebook, which only hurts us, if we go in there and document these things, we can have officers sent right to the house. Many arrests have been made through this. So it is a good tool that can be used effectively. Unfortunately, human nature, there are some people that just aren't able to do that. I've seen people that actually cared, who meant well, who have put their comments in there because people get in there and they haste. They misinterpret what was said, and they're jumping all over. I've seen people get attacked. They were the good guy. They were the one helping. Yeah. And they were attacked and swarmed by all kinds of they were piling on. They'd read other people's comments, and then they'd use that. Next thing you know, it was a feeding frenzy on someone who was
because they add their friends. The people that with the bad intentions, they know who the other people are who will attack at whim, and they'll add them to a thread.
Yeah.
So then
they summons them.
Yeah, they summon them in, and then there's a bunch of them. And like you said, if a lot of people say the same thing, but if a lot of that's part of their game is if they all say the same thing against somebody, then it looks like it's true.
Yes. That's right.
But
exactly.
it's
That's
not.
when they start going, you're so correct. You're absolutely right. Your information is perfect. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so kid-like. I mean, Christopher used the word about childish banter and different things. It's kind of like when they bring their friends in. It's like kids running down the alley, and some your friend is chasing you, and you know a bad dog lives here, and you open the gate where the bad dog is, so the bad dog can run out and chase your friend, and that's what this whole pile-on turns into. It's like everybody's saying more and more. So Monika, let me ask you. So Jill Randall, she put this out. This basically is. Am I stretching to say it's a lie?
Yes.
What did she say about you and Jenny that made everybody get into a big hubbub about it?
Dad, what's for dinner?